The story unfolds in a distant future after the Third World War, known as the 60-Minute War. The remnants of humanity take refuge in mobile cities that move on giant wheels or tracks. According to a new policy known as municipal Darwinism, large predator cities hunt down and consume smaller settlements, along with their population and resources, in the great hunting grounds that include Great Britain and continental Europe. Hester sees the approach of the massive predator city of London through a spyglass. She warns the residents of the small Bavarian mining town of Salzhaken about the impending danger, after which the town's engines are immediately started, and the town tries to escape from its pursuer. Meanwhile, the residents of London eagerly watch the thrilling chase. The mayor of London, Magnus Krome, gives orders to the military, aiming to catch Salzhaken as quickly as possible. Within minutes, the metropolis consumes the small town. The vast city of London consists of numerous buildings inside it, one of which, the Museum of London, contains many unique artifacts, such as statues of the supreme American gods. Tom Natsworthy works as an assistant in the London Museum and lives in the poor district of the city. Kate Valentine, the daughter of the respected head of the Guild of Historians, visits the museum to learn more from Tom about the past of our planet. Kate lives in a wealthy area of London, but she is very friendly towards the poor Tom. Tom tells Kate about forgotten 21st century technology, such as smartphones and computers, which historians refer to as artifacts. He also tells his companion about the devastating 60-Minute War, in which half of the planet was destroyed with the help of quantum nuclear weapons called Medusa. Tom also complains that several nuclear batteries have recently disappeared from the museum. The remaining ones he hid in his workshop. The conversation between the pair is overheard by the historian Herbert Melephant, who genuinely hates Tom. Herbert suddenly appears before them and spitefully declares that he is demoting Tom. Nevertheless, Tom continues his tour for Kate. At the same time, after the recycling of Salzhaken, its residents are released into London after all their weapons are confiscated. However, Hester manages to smuggle a knife with her. Tom and Kate descend into the depths of London to select the best exhibits for the museum from Salzhaken's trophies. Tom immediately notices a well-preserved toaster. At that moment, Thaddeus Valentine appears, the head of the Guild of Historians and Kate's father. He praises Tom's excellent knowledge. One of the workers hands Thaddeus a small nuclear battery. Suddenly, Hester appears and quickly plunges a knife into Thaddeus's stomach, saying it is revenge for her mother, Pandora Shaw. Thaddeus freezes in shock upon hearing this name, and Hester doesn't have time to deliver a fatal blow because Tom stops her and then chases after the girl. Soon, the two reach a waste chute into which Hester immediately tries to jump, but Tom catches her. The girl says that Thaddeus disfigured her face and killed her mother, Pandora Shaw, before falling down. Almost immediately, Thaddeus appears, and Tom relays what the fugitive said to him. The head of the guild listens to Tom attentively, and then unexpectedly pushes him into the chute. Later, Kate asks her father about Pandora Shaw, whom the girl with the knife mentioned, but Thaddeus avoids answering. Meanwhile, Tom lies unconscious on the ground. Hester steals all his money from him. Soon, the boy wakes up and runs after the girl, who is angry with him for preventing her from killing Thaddeus. Tom asks his companion to help him return to London, but this does not fit into the girl's plans. Meanwhile, Magnus Krome is furious with Thaddeus, due to whom they ended up in Europe, where it is very difficult to obtain resources and food. The head of the Guild of Historians, in response, states that this is the only way they can survive. But the mayor is skeptical of the man's words. Tom and Hester instead cross the great hunting grounds and catch the eyes of the wild Southerners who are out on a night hunt. An elderly couple in their small vehicle comes to the pair's aid and allows them to spend the night in a small room. Hester treats the wound on her leg, then tells her companion that her mother was an archaeologist and conducted excavations in North America, where all life was completely destroyed because of the war. Her mother worked with Thaddeus for a long time until she found a small, mysterious suitcase. Her mother refused to hand over the suitcase to Thaddeus. Then he killed her and left a deep scar on Hester's face. The girl cannot hold back her tears, ending the story by saying that all she has left from her mother is a small pendant. Meanwhile, Thaddeus returns to London and immediately heads to St. Paul's Cathedral, where he is clearly trying to recreate the Medusa weapon of mass destruction, for which he is collecting nuclear batteries. Thaddeus realizes that there are almost no resources left in Europe, so he wants to break through to the east to the province of Shanghua, where there are many traditional stationary cities with a large amount of resources. But the path there is blocked by a well-fortified shield wall. The wall is guarded by the Anti-Traction League, and they can only be defeated with the help of the resurrected Medusa. In addition, Thaddeus releases from prison the extremely dangerous cyborg Shrike, learning that he wants to kill Hester. This coincides with the interests of the head of the Guild of Historians. In London, Kate becomes increasingly distant from her father, especially after trainee engineer Bevis Pod, who has been friends with Tom for a long time, informs her that Thaddeus pushed Tom into the waste chute. Bevis also shares with her that her father's energy project in St. Paul's Cathedral is more than it seems, and Thaddeus is hiding the truth from everyone. Tom feels the elderly couple's vehicle has turned south, although this was not in their plans, and he realizes it is a trap. The boy wants to escape with Hester through a hatch in the floor, but she cannot jump to the ground due to a leg injury, which leads to the pair being captured by local thugs. The pair are about to be sold into slavery at a slave market in the Rusty Bog. But at that moment, Anna Fong appears, an Anti-Traction League agent. Anna kills the slave traders, allowing the pair to escape. However, their path is blocked by the sudden appearance of Shrike. Hester freezes in place when she sees the cyborg, but fortunately, the pair is saved again by Anna in her airship. Hester tells Tom and Anna that after her mother's death, Shrike found her and raised her as his daughter. Shrike is one of the few cyborgs who survived the war. Because of her mother's death, Hester was often sad, so Shrike created an exoskeleton for the girl and took a promise from her to allow herself to be turned into a cyborg. However, Hester learned that Thaddeus had appeared in their area and ran away from the cyborg to take revenge on her mother's killer. Shrike, disappointed in his ward who broke her promise, vowed to find and kill her. Hester and Tom fly on Anna's airship to the flying city of Airhaven, where they meet other members of the Anti-Traction League. When the gathering starts discussing Thaddeus's suspicious actions, Tom suddenly realizes that Hester's mother found the suitcase with the access system to the Medusa quantum superweapon, used by the warring sides during the 60-minute war for the instant destruction of entire cities. The only way to disable the activated Medusa is to use the emergency key on a removable device. Meanwhile, in London, the Guild of Engineers, on Thaddeus's orders, steals the remaining components from Tom's workshop at the museum and finishes building Medusa. Soon, Kate and Bevis discover the theft in the workshop. Museum curator Chudley Pomeroy shows the pair a secret path to St. Paul's Cathedral. They climb a long staircase and soon see with their own eyes the resurrected Medusa, ready to fire a destructive shot. And Thaddeus tells his henchmen about their superweapon. Suddenly, Magnus enters the cathedral and orders Thaddeus to be arrested for his unauthorized actions. However, the military betrays the mayor, and Thaddeus coldly kills Magnus in front of the terrified Kate. Shrike reaches Airhaven, looking for Hester, and creates real chaos in the flying city. In a fierce battle on Airhaven, a strong fire breaks out, and the cyborg reaches Tom and is about to strangle him. Hester begs Shrike to spare the boy. The cyborg, seeing his ward crying, realizes the girl has fallen in love. Shrike releases Hester from the promise she made to him, and he himself dies from his injuries. Before his death, he returns her mother's pendant to the girl. Hester, Tom, and Anna fly to the shield wall, where they meet Governor Khan of Shanghua and tell him about Thaddeus's plan. Anna convinces Governor Khan to release a fleet of airships against London, which could be a decisive factor in the fight against Medusa. Hester discovers that her mother's pendant contains a flash drive with a secret code that activates Medusa's shutdown mechanism. Thaddeus activates his superweapon, and a shot blasts a huge breach in the shield wall, destroying part of the enemy fleet. Thaddeus orders Medusa to be recharged, but it will take some time. Hester, Tom, Anna, and their comrades board combat aircraft and fly to London, where they engage in battle with the city's anti-aircraft guns. The group manages to get close to the Predator city, and Hester and Anna land on one of its walls. Anna attacks Thaddeus, giving Hester the opportunity to reach Medusa, which she manages to disable with her mother's flash drive. Enraged, Thaddeus kills Anna and then orders Kate to come with him. However, the girl no longer wants to obey her insane father and runs away. Deprived of Medusa, Thaddeus orders his followers to shoot all the London Bridge personnel, intending to ram the wall with the giant city. Kate helps Tom by opening the protective grille from the control panel, after which the pair manage to blow up London's engine with several missiles, slowing its course. Thaddeus tries to escape, but Hester catches up with the man and engages him in a fight. Thaddeus shocks the girl by admitting that he is her father and, taking advantage of the moment, jumps into an airship. Tom picks up Hester in his aircraft and then accurately shoots down the enemy airship. Thaddeus survives the crash, but dies when he is run over by London's tracks. The Predator city stops a few meters from the shield wall. The surviving residents of London, led by Kate, make long-awaited peace with the Anti-Traction League, and Tom and Hester set off on a journey in an airship to see the world. How did you like the film Mortal Engines? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.